To today's edition of Mental Health Matters. Today, I got Beatrice Bailey on the show. We're going to do part two of talking about fear, anxiety, and all the chaos that's going on in the world. Get you something to drink and get you a snack and come on back. All right, B, welcome back to the show. Let's just dive right on into it. Well, we left off, you started talking about the gas prices. And yesterday, do you know, I'm gonna tell you how much, now I got a 2013 Toyota Camry.
Mhm.
I paid $91.68 to
Right.
fill my tank up. So far, this has been the highest that I've spent
Mhm.
on getting my car filled since the gas prices have exploded.
Right.
Crazy, right?
Right. I make sure I go to Costco.
Oh, really?
Yeah, Costco has, I mean, Costco's about, last time I filled up my car and I take regular in this car, the other car I had was premium, it was $5.49 a gallon.
Okay.
You know,
Yeah.
close to $6.49, $7.73, and I certainly don't get car washes because there's a premium associated with that. And then the
Yeah.
sad thing about it, we have all these high gas prices, yet and still the CEOs in these gas companies have gotten bonuses. How can you even in your mind justify getting a bonus when
Yeah.
people are struggling? But again, it's the greed that underscores so many aspects of
Yeah.
society. It's just unfathomable.
You know, where I work, the staff, including the management team, we're required to have a motor vehicle along with car insurance. And I know a few of my staff have came to me and asked if they could either catch an Uber or Lyft or get a ride by other coworkers. They was, it was a few of them talking about carpooling because of the gas prices. And I had to explain to them, unfortunately, no, because, you're required to have a car because they have to go out and meet clients and do other things and stuff like that. But people are definitely trying to be creative with minimizing having to spend all this money on gas. I mean, it's definitely a lot. And I feel bad for people who may not, be able to afford the price, because you do got people who are receiving government assistance and, and probably can't afford to fill their car up like that. But that's just what's going on in our society today. And hopefully, things will change soon, but I doubt it.
And some people try to blame Biden. Biden doesn't control the gas prices.
Correct.
It's the oil and gas companies that control the gas price.
Yes, correct.
So, yeah.
Yeah. And we also had another inflation with food prices.
Right.
Let me tell you something.
Yep.
Some of us, we spend cash on food. And let me tell you about my sister, right? My oldest sister, she has, maybe I shouldn't say this, but anyway.
Probably shouldn't, because you do tell a lot of family stuff. You probably shouldn't.
Yeah. Maybe I shouldn't say this, but let's just say she don't like spending cash on food. Let's just say that, read between the lines. And I told her, I said, well, either you're going to spend cash on food or either you can go back and make money that will allow you to be eligible for food stamps.
Mhm.
You ain't gonna be able to have both,
Mhm.
So, but it's definitely got out of hand, and
particularly people that have growing children or kids that are in athletics and whatever. When my son was in school, and that I didn't know, I spent more money on food than on clothes.
Wow.
They just do. If you've got kids, they're hungry. And
Yeah.
unfortunately, if you've got to make adjustments, you make adjustments by feeding your kids cheaper food, a lot
Right.
of rice, a lot of beans. You can't always afford fruit because it costs money to eat right. It really
Yeah.
does. But they've got, I mean, again, they've got a lot of food pantries and stuff like that. And if I were had a young family, I would have no problems going to a food closet and getting a basket of whatever. But again,
Yeah.
the basket of whatever are noodles and rice and other staples that will allow you to extend your budget. But it's just needed in so many different areas.
Yeah. One of the things I've started doing is cooking a lot more. I've started doing meal prep,
Right.
making sure I have something to eat at work. And when I come home, that way I can avoid going to the restaurant and spending money out like that on a consistent basis. It's been, I've been really mindful of that. Like earlier I said, I made some spaghettis, so I have enough to eat for a few days at work. And just, I'm really trying to be smart regarding the way I spend my money
Well, it's
on
important.
food.
Yeah, it is important. But like, even with that, there's some people that you can be smart as you want. If you only have so much money
Yeah.
and you've got utilities to pay for
Yes.
and things like that, it's just, again, a lot of these issues are based on quicksand. So it's
Yeah.
hard for you to relax and get your footing because you're going to sink for one reason or another.
Yeah. B, it's interesting with all this inflation going on in the world now. There are a lot of it seems like we have a shortage of people who are wanting to work, because at my job we were hiring at one point in time for 4, 5, 6, 7, like 8 positions, and this has been like for the last 3 months, and it's really hard to find people who want to work. And I thought that was interesting, and so somebody had told me that they believe it's due to people are still trying to receive unemployment, so they'd rather get unemployment than actually work.
Yeah, and
But
some
it's
people, I
it's
guess some
hard.
people can, some people can, and but this depends on also your value system. I mean, I would try to avoid me unemployment if I could, because I've always worked, I always put myself in a position to work. Uh,
Yeah.
if I had to be in unemployment, it would be a transitional thing. I'd be
Yes.
unemployment for a couple months, so I would do whatever, because I'm so strongly independent. But not everyone is that way. Some people are looking for an easy way out. And then how can you, even if you're working like these kids that work, or adults too, that work at McDonald's or restaurants or whatever, how can you even make ends meet
Right.
on minimum wage? You can't do it.
Yeah.
If you
Yeah.
do it, you're not able to do something else.
Yeah.
So
Well,
it's
I think a lot of people too, B, are starting to have roommates now,
right,
which is not always,
right.
you know, the best solution if you don't know the person, or but I'm seeing that go on a lot more and more. People are starting to get
And
roommates.
a lot of adult kids are moving back home.
Yes.
And one of the I was talking to someone whose mother-in-law moved up from Southern California. They were having trouble finding a storage area because
Wow.
people who are moving in with their parents are storing their stuff in storage.
Yeah.
And they didn't
Yeah.
intend to go back home. But if mom and dad have a nice house and you can go there and not have to pay that much rent or utilities or something like that, out of necessity, people are going back home.
Yeah. I have a friend who moved to Sacramento maybe like 5 years ago. She's from Carbondale, Illinois,
Mhm.
and she moved here like 5 years ago. And when she moved here, because she wanted just a fresh start, and then she ended up moving her 2 adult kids down here a year later. I talked to her like a month ago because I was trying to, see if she knew anybody who was interested in one of the positions I had open at my job. And she was saying that she didn't know California was as high as it was, and so
Right,
make a long story short, she's gonna move back to Illinois, her grandkids and her 2 kids, and with her mom,
right. Well,
so that she can, yeah,
mhm.
yeah. So it's unfortunate, but that's That's just the times we live in today. Do you see it getting any better?
No, I mean, again, I don't. Again, we get back to the fact all this, we don't know what the economy, we have the beginnings of a recession. We
Yeah,
haven't really gotten into it. I mean, if that happens, then I mean, again, there's too many unknowns.
yeah,
What we do know, again, is based on quicksand.
yeah,
I can't say, okay, the way it's going to happen in by July, the stock market will have calmed down, the gas prices. We can endure anything if we have an endpoint vision.
correct.
Say, okay, July 1st, the price of gas is going to go down to $3.50 a gallon. We know that we can
Yeah,
relax, we can deal with the funk right now, and then we can look forward. There's no endpoint for any of this madness to stop. It's not like
yes,
gun control is going to start July 1st, everyone's going to turn in all their guns.
yeah,
No, we don't know.
right,
We don't know if we're going to be thrown into another war, with
right.
Russia. We don't know if they're going to do something funky with healthcare. And again, all these key variables in our lives are based upon quicksand.
Yeah,
We can't get our footing, and we don't have leadership that can make the kind of changes that need to be made to eliminate the stress. So I guess
yeah,
the most important thing, if we moved on, is any of this stuff new? And it's not new. I think the advantage and the disadvantage is the internet. You can get a lot of information on the internet, a lot
yes,
of information, but then you can get a lot of negative information. And again, with news being available 24/7, you're inundated if you choose to plug in with that.
yeah,
That will keep you depressed and in a funky mood, whether it's politics or the economy or war or someone threw the baby, in the river and the husband shot the wife. I mean, all that stuff that's sensational,
yeah,
is depressing. So I made a rule that I've broken on more than one occasion. I got rid of cable. I just have streaming. I have Hulu,
wow,
Netflix, and Amazon.
yeah,
And if I want to find out a news, I may dip into the news a little bit, but I don't watch CNN. I don't watch MSNBC. I used to watch it all the time, particularly during the election. I don't watch any of that stuff
that's
because
smart.
it's too anxiety producing. And if something that traumatic has happened in the world, I'll find out about it through a friend. So I
Exactly.
really do. I'm aware of what I take in. I'm aware of the people that I'm around. If I don't stay around negative people because I don't need that kind of personality around me. So
Hmm.
I really do participate as much as possible into self-care. What do
Yes.
I do to take care of myself in the midst of these anxious times? I always keep a little extra money in case I have to help a relative, or I'm not going to help you, Jesse, because you've got plenty of money. But I mean, I always have been a little money in my back pocket just in case I have someone that is struggling.
Yeah.
So I do what I can do, but self-care is the most important thing. And you are what you think.
Yes.
Also regarding music, I don't listen to loud music. I mean, I listen to music that's either instrumental or vocals that soothe my soul.
Wow.
When I go to bed at night, I have Alexa, but not say it too loud because she'll hear me, but I'll say, Alexa, play ocean sounds. So I
Yeah.
go to bed every night listening to the crashing of the waves just to kind of calm down. It's really, really um, important.
Yes. Absolutely. Absolutely. And I think that's where people should be more aware of now, based off what is going on, is self-care, which a lot of people don't have the luxury, or they choose not to have luxury, because a lot of times people have to work, then they come home, they got to cook, clean, attend to kids, or just go to a soccer practice or
Right.
baseball practice with their kids, and they forget about themselves, and they got all this stuff piled on them at work and all this stuff piled on them at home, and before you know it, it's they're headed to some sort of breakdown.
Right. And the key is, even with everything that's being pulled, actually being pulled in different directions, try to find a little bit of time that's just for you. If that's just taking a hot bath at night,
Mhm.
if it's like, kids, dinner's on the table, I need to go for a walk around the block. And even going for, I'm big on exercise, a walk around the block that's going to release endorphins. You look at your chaotic lifestyle. Is there something that you can do to eliminate some of the stress? Like you're doing meal prep.
Mhm.
When I had children and things weren't as stressful, when I had two, my marriage was stressful, but when I had my two children, on Sundays, I would do my cooking for the week.
Mm.
It's just done for the week. So Monday, all I had to do is come in, either I would or their father would make the salad, and
Mhm.
dinner was done. So that took the
Nice.
pressure off. If I had a meal that the children were eating, I had a chicken in the oven cooking for the next day or whatever.
Wow.
So you can
Nice.
look at different ways that you can impact some of the stressors in your life. I'm a big believer in finding some way to work out, and
Yeah.
also turn the TV off. Put the kids, my grandkids know when they're in the car with me, put the phones down.
Yeah.
I don't care if you're going to read the phone book, put the phones down.
Yeah.
My youngest grandson, we were going someplace, and he says, Mimi, you never played music in your car. I said, because I'd rather listen to you
Right.
and not the music. He went, oh, and I did. I'd rather tell me what on with your day.
Yeah.
Important for us to get back to communicate with our family members and the children, and check in with your kids to find out where they're at. If they're really quiet, are they depressed about something? I mean, what's going on? And don't poo-poo their feelings.
Yeah.
They're depressed. I'm depressed because I don't have any friends, and then you don't come back and say, well, you will have friends. Well,
Yeah.
you have friends. I mean, and I'm also a big believer in counseling.
Mhm.
If you're in the middle of some kind of a spiral, and you can afford it, check it with counseling
Yeah.
and get someone to help you reset your mindset about something. Something. I'm a big believer of that.
Yeah. I know recently I was talking to somebody and I was how can I put, I was assisting them with or I was teaching them how to budget and save their money. And
Mhm.
so this has been like an ongoing process. So they had got up to maybe like close to $40,000 and the person in their savings account. And so the person called me the other day and they was down to 2,000. And so my first thing was, I said, well, why? Like what happened? Because I kind of just want to get in there, put them on the right track and then back off. And it was like, well, family, helping family, friends, the gas and all this other stuff. But I said, you went from close to 40, according to what you were said, down to 2,000. I said, and then they proceeded to want to borrow money from me, you know. And of course, I told them, I said, well, honestly, I don't feel comfortable because it seems like you done got back off track
Right,
with
right.
budgeting your money, you know. And so this person was like super, super, super stressed out because they got all these bills coming at them, and so and I felt bad, honestly, being Amberly for telling the person no. But I knew that if I would have gave this person money, it would have been an ongoing situation.
Right, right. No, you're not help. It's you don't you don't help people who have poor money management by giving them money.
Yeah,
And I've done it in the past. I mean,
yeah,
you really, in the long run, you really don't help them by helping them budget and look at where they're spending their money and be able to differentiate between what they want,
yeah,
what they need. Do you really you want a new pair of Jordans? I never bought my kids designer stuff
yeah,
ever, but you want a new pair of whatever. Do you really need that, or you just want it?
yeah,
Go shopping in your own closet.
yes.
This weekend, I have some ladies, like I live in, like I say, in Gold River, it's only 2% black. And
Hmm.
so we call each other unicorns since
Okay.
we're very self, oh, there's one, we're unicorns. I'm even having t-shirts made for them that say unicorns on it.
Yeah.
But what we're doing is a clothing swap this weekend.
Mm.
A lot of these ladies have beautiful designer clothes. Bring stuff you're not going to use, or don't bring anything, and
Yeah.
come and get stuff and take it with you. So we all have, and it's another way for us to save money and to clean out all the clutter in our closets to be, and that's also very, very cost effective. The only thing that's going to cost someone is gas to get to the house, but we're going to provide the meals and things of that sort. But that's
Yeah.
another thing that you can do, and that's camaraderie, and that's good for the economy, and it's good for stressing. The other thing that's important when you're in some kind of an anxious situation, in the book that I wrote, Get Ready, Get Set, because we're all going to go, it's that it's important that you have someone that I call a scream buddy. And that's
Mhm.
someone that you can go to when you're really anxious, and you
Mhm.
can scream your illogical, crazy behind off, and that person will listen to you. They're not going
Yeah.
to evaluate you. They're going to listen. And once you get it all out, that person will say,
Yeah.
"Okay, great. What are we now going to do about it?"
Yeah.
You're not going to say, "You big dummy, I don't know." Okay, that's fine. What can we do to move you off of this particular situation? So it's good that you have a one or two people that you really can confide in, and you can't confide in everyone because you're going to hear all your business on Facebook,
Exactly.
something like that.
Exactly.
You will learn that. So I make a point to surround myself with positive people. And I don't care if it's family. If a family member is negative, I don't care who you are. I'm not obligated to spend time with someone that's negative.
That's right.
I'm
That's
not, just
right.
because, we were brothers, sisters, your mom, my mother, my father, it doesn't make any difference. I'm
Yeah.
not obligated to spend time with you. And I will not hang out with negative people. I won't.
I love that attitude. I love it. Because I'm the same way. It gets a little bit challenging when you work with negative people.
Right.
And especially if you're in a managed position, because you have to deal with these people on a daily basis. But one of the things that I learned to do, be honestly, is pray. I have prayed
Absolutely.
so many people out of, I don't want to say out of a job, because that would be the wrong terminology, but out of my space at work, and they will eventually leave and go somewhere else,
Right.
because it's just the drama, the gossip, and just too much,
Right.
too much.
And then what you would look around and see, what is it that are your emotional vampires? What is it that's sticking a tube in you and stealing your joy? When
Mhm.
you're in an anxious situation, don't let someone steal your joy. And
Yes.
you might be in a situation where maybe the person that's causing you anxiety is your manager. But then you have to learn to manage that manager.
Yes.
Managers that if they were um, hyper active in my business, I would out memo them. I would out whatever. I would anticipate what they would want,
Mhm.
and I found a way to back them off of me.
Wow.
So, yeah, you just need to surround yourself with positive people, and if you're dealing with a negative person, just go to the bathroom, go for a walk, do
Mhm.
whatever, and just say, "I'm not going to let this person steal my joy." I'm just not.
Mhm.
And sometimes you have to swallow and bite your tongue.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I think that is it's I think part of the reason I am in management is because it teaches me patience, definitely patience, because that's an area I've always struggled with, just to be honest, and self-control, because sometimes you get people come in there and in a very aggressive manner, and disrespect, and you have to, you can't respond, or you shouldn't respond like you're not at work, because
Right.
it's different when you're not at work, but then yeah, I'm learning a lot, or I've learned a
When
lot.
I was in management, I used to say I could get my work done if I didn't have to deal with these people.
Yeah, 100%.
But you
100%.
but you do have to deal with them.
Yeah,
You
100%.
have to deal with them.
you know and so yeah, let's switch gears a little bit. Let's talking about people, because I know one thing you put down is people are looking for personal relationships.
Right.
So speak on that a little bit. What do you mean about that?
Well, there's some people that I've reached a certain level in my life. I don't have love. I don't have friends. I don't,
Yeah.
and that can create anxiety. Most of my girlfriends are single.
Yeah.
Most of my girlfriends are single, and that can cause some anxiety. But the key is, as far as personal relationship, if you're looking for someone to complete you, then that person has the capability to incomplete you.
Mm,
You've got to come into any kind of personal relationship whole.
yeah.
you know, and if not, then you're giving up a lot of your power to someone else. So the most important thing is to get yourself together, and then if you're fortunate enough to find someone, you'll be able to find someone from a position of being whole, and hopefully you'll be able to be aware enough that you'll be able to find someone who's also whole.
Very, very powerful what you just said too, because I think well, I know you're right. It's not a thing to it, but there are people that seek relationships and seek these relationships so that they can be filled in a certain area, or a certain void can be filled. They may have had a bad experience with a boyfriend and, feel like, oh, this person is different, they're going to treat me right, or, appease to my emotions and stuff like that. When in fact, you're right. If you go into this relationship whole and knowing what you bring to the table, knowing what type of person you are, if things go south, you can bag back out with what you brought in, meaning you're whole mentally, you're whole physically and spiritually and so forth.
There's a poem by Peter McAllister that I've always often quoted, and he says, I I don't want to build my life around you. I want to include you in the building of my life.
Yeah.
And some people will build their life around a man, a woman, or whatever, and that's giving that person too much power.
Yes. Yes.
Too much power. So
Yeah.
you're not looking for the better half. I don't want
Yeah.
I don't want half of nothing.
Yeah.
I want a
Yeah.
whole whatever. I don't want to be someone's better half.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
I'll be solid, you'll be solid, and then we can hook up and have a nice relationship. But because at this point in my life, I ain't carrying nothing.
Yeah.
You don't, if you don't have it together, I ain't carrying nothing.
Yeah. Yeah. But I would love to do a show with you and whoever you think would be good to talk about relationships. But I want to talk a little bit about the side piece. You know what a side piece is, right? The,
Yes.
yeah, it would be, because it seems like that's the thing that's in today. Side pieces. People are targeting people who are married, who have a boyfriend and girlfriend, and it's crazy, but that would be a good topic to talk about.
Right. I mean, it's hard enough to maintain a relationship, let alone
Yeah,
to be dilly dallying on the side. I mean, yeah, nope, not for me.
yeah.
But we can talk about it.
Yeah, they can talk about it, not for you.
Mm.
Oh, we got about, I think, like 4 minutes left. Let's talk a little bit about um, um, the war, because you mentioned war earlier. Do you think that we're potentially headed in that direction, or just still like up for grabs, so to speak?
I think it's up for grabs. I mean,
Yeah.
I'm not a political pundit or anything like that, but I mean, you didn't even talk that much about the war in Ukraine. When it first happened, that's all they talked about.
Yes.
Now that's been moved out of the way because now we're talking about gun violence, and we're talking about
Yes.
gas prices, and we're talking about the economy, and we're talking about monkeypox and all this
Yeah.
other stuff. So it's another one of those variables that's based on quicksand. I mean, we
Yeah.
said, I don't know what, $400 million worth of equipment to the Ukraine to help them. We're
Yeah.
not in the war, but we are supporting the head of the country.
Yeah.
So it's like, you don't know. I mean,
Yeah.
it's for someone who really prides herself in being so knowledgeable, all these variables, I don't know.
Yeah.
There's nothing that we can, again, if you think the analogy of what we're dealing with, it's quicksand. You can't trust any of it. You can't trust the government. You can't trust the healthcare. You can't trust the gas prices. You can't. So with all these things you can't trust, the net effect is anxiety.
Yeah. Yeah. Before we leave, let's talk a little bit about the housing market um, is increasing, meaning the cost of living is also increasing here in California, especially Sacramento.
Right.
I mean, man, like if you are on the market to go and buy a house, or on the market to rent a house, prices are crazy,
They are. They are.
crazy.
And then not even that, you'll get into bidding wars.
Yeah,
I have this one person that was trying to get a house out here in Gold River, and It's a desirable area. They have a lot of one stories. If you're older, you definitely want to get in, one story, and buy them with the 2 story and what have you. Most of the bids out here, there are 11 bids for a house.
That's crazy.
11, it's 11, and then people are willing to spend $40,000-$50,000 over the asking price
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
the inventory is not there. And even if my house, it's a cute little house, and I've decorated it and customized and whatever. I could sell my house, I know, within 8 hours. This house, I've got a huge oversized backyard that's all landscaped and whatever. I'd sell that house in a day.
I believe it.
Oh, great. What am I going to buy on the other end?
Right. Right.
I mean, am I
Right.
going to find something on the other end?
Yeah.
And am I going to have to downgrade? Like my daughter wants me to come down and live with her in Southern California. And I told her that I'm not an official little old lady yet. But if I
Yeah.
went down there, the cost of living is so exorbitant. The kind of comfort that I have here in Sacramento, I wouldn't be able to transfer that down to Southern California. So it's a catch-22.
Yeah.
Great, sell your house and then move back to Carbondale
Yeah.
to buy the state capital of Illinois for $100,000.
Yes.
Out here. So, and people are moving. They're moving to Georgia. They're moving to North Carolina. They're moving. They've lost their mind. They're moving to Texas.
Yeah.
That because you can get so much house compared to California with very little money.
Yeah.
So, yeah, the housing market is crazy.
Yeah. I'm gonna meet with a friend of mine's, not actually Saturday, who's a realtor down here. Her name is Tony Morgan. I'm gonna meet with her and just kind of, because I was in the process of trying to get a house. But I told her I said I'm gonna wait, but we're gonna just kind of brainstorm and talk because she was saying, Jess, this what's going on now is crazy. Even if somebody was renting a house, she said, most of my clients now, she said they have so much anxiety because of what you talked about, the bidding war, and people are jacking the prices. It's crazy.
Well,
So
it is, and they say that the housing boom is getting ready to bust. Okay, when?
yeah,
When are you going to hold off? I mean, sometimes it makes more sense to rent.
yeah,
I've always was raised, you buy a chicken coop if you have to. You always want to buy a house, and that's always been my orientation. But not everybody can afford to buy a house.
right, exactly.
And then if you buy the house, you've got to keep it up, and there's taxes, and it's more than just a notion. The American dream of home ownership is a fleeting concept right now.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. All right, B, we have come to the end. Let's see how quick it go when me and you just dialoguing and having a good conversation. I so appreciate you. Always do. You're always willing to come on here and talk. And one of the reasons I love to have you on is because you are so knowledgeable about so many different topics.
Because I'm 1,000 years old. That's why.
No, you're not 1,000. You look good though. I will tell you that for sure.
Thank you.
So thank you so much for just taking time out of your day and willing to come and just speak and just share your wisdom and your wealth of knowledge that you've obtained through the years.
Anytime that I'm available, I will definitely do it.
Thank you. Thank you so much. And that's it for today's edition of Mental Health Matter. If you enjoyed this particular show, if you would like to be a guest on our show, or if you would like a DVD copy of the show, please dial 916-366-4600. Thank you.